Hello YouTube. First I want to start out by saying that I think it's a sad state of affairs in the world that I ever even had the concept for this kit. Second, I'm not a trained professional or a first responder beyond anything other than basic and some advanced first aid. This was mainly just a mental exercise for me to think through an event of a shooting and how I could possibly help if I was faced with this. This assumes I'm not shot or disabled myself. I thought of this because I've gone back to school and because this is a subject that keeps coming up at work and due to also to recent events around the world, including terrorist attacks. Whether I would even be able to use the kit's questionable for various reasons. Like I said, I could be shot myself and disabled. The first responder to an incident will be the police task force, and their primary directive is to neutralize the threat and not to render aid. I'm assuming that this event will happen rapidly unless there's a hostage situation. Then there would be the evacuation, and I doubt anyone will be able to be left behind and allowed to continue aid. But like I said, this was mostly a mental exercise on my part to walk through an event in my head and to see what I could come up with and to see what was practicable. The kit itself is very basic and very simple. Like I said in the introduction, this is going to happen fast, and whether I'd be able to use this is questionable. But the first thing would be to stop bleeding. And I vacuum sealed this, and I wanted something relatively small, compact, that I could put in my book bag when I go to class. But I'd also made up a couple more of these to put in the truck that I could use, if I happened on a wreck or something that I need to give aid to a victim. But in here is a couple diapers. In the past, I've used diapers to stop bleeding when there's a lot of blood, because you can put your whole hand over it and use it for compression. Speaking of which, I've got 2 compression bandages in here, and I've got a space blanket. On this side, you can see a couple tampons. Now, it's a fallacy that tampons were invented for stopping bullet wounds, though they are classified as a Class 2 medical device in the United States. And they're used for stopping hematosis during surgery. Hemostasis, I think, is a word, not hematosis. But I've also got a couple gloves. They're not the latex, they're nitrile, in case anybody was, I think that's how you pronounce it, in case anybody was allergic to latex. Got some scissors in here, so that if I've had to cut somebody's clothing off, you can cut these are great for cutting like denim and tough clothes. The tampons, there's an 18-inch piece of surgical tubing that could be used as a tourniquet, and that is all that's in there. My whole thinking behind this is it's going to happen fast. If there is any aid to be rendered, it's just going to be a short period of time before the police come in, and then once they come in, you're not going to really be able to do anything because they're going to neutralize the threat. They're going to evacuate everybody out of the building, and then that would be when the medical personnel would come in. And like I said, I doubt seriously, even though I was rendering aid to somebody, that they would allow me to stay in there because they're assuming that anyone could be a second shooter. Like I said, this was mainly just a mental exercise on my part, just to walk through the scenario in my head and see how I would react or possibly react, because I know that somebody comes in a room and starts shooting, that everything that you thought about is going to probably go out the window, including myself if I have a chance. But I would like your feedback on this, and like I said, this is the basics. I don't think I would have time or be able to do anything other than administer a compression bandage and possibly stop somebody's bleeding. And that's the reason that this kit's so simple. Just gloves, which probably would never even use anyway because I'd be too busy, and I wouldn't take the time to put the gloves on. You know, possibly cut some clothing so I could put the compression bandage on there. Put the compression bandage on, stop the bleeding, and then wrap the victim up with a space blanket possibly. So tell me what you think, if there's anything I could add, and what your thoughts of the situation are in general. Anyway, it's been a while since I made a video. It's nice to be back. A lot going on. I'll try my best to do a update video in the near future and let you know what's going on with me. But I've got some more videos planned for the future. Just got to find the time to do them. But thanks for watching. Look forward to your comments. Take care. Stay safe. Stay strange.